My sister's stupidity destroyed my family. It happened on a Tuesday afternoon. Mom and Dad went to my aunt's house for her birthday party. They left around 2 in the afternoon. My sister Vanessa was 17 and had her learner's permit for about 5 months. She was supposed to stay home with me. I was 14. Around 3:30, her boyfriend Kyle showed up. He was 16, too young to even have a learner's permit in our state. He kept begging Vanessa to let him drive Dad's car. He said he'd driven his cousin's truck before on back roads and knew what he was doing. Vanessa kept saying no at first. Then Kyle said she was being boring and acting like a little kid. That's all it took. She grabbed Dad's keys off the kitchen counter. I told her not to do it. I literally stood in front of the door and said Mom and Dad would kill her. She pushed past me and said they'd be back in 2 hours and would never know. Kyle was already outside revving the engine in the driveway like an idiot. I stayed inside. I didn't want any part of it. 40 minutes later, 2 police officers knocked on our door. They asked if I was related to Vanessa. I said yes. They told me there'd been an accident, and I needed to come with them. They wouldn't tell me anything else in the car. When we got to the hospital, I saw Mom collapsed in a chair in the waiting room. Dad was on the phone, and he was shaking. I'd never seen him shake before. Kyle died at the scene. The car hit a telephone pole going 50 in a residential zone. Vanessa had her feet up on the dashboard. Both legs shattered on impact. But that wasn't the worst part. Her spine got compressed. The doctors said she'd never walk again, never move her arms, never feed herself. Paralyzed from the neck down, except she could move her head a tiny bit. 2 days later, Kyle's parents showed up at the hospital screaming at my parents. They said my parents were responsible because it was their car. My dad tried to explain that Kyle wasn't supposed to be driving, but they didn't care. They said they were suing. A week after that, we got the letter from their lawyer. They were asking for $2 million. Our insurance company said they weren't covering anything because Vanessa took the car without permission and let an unlicensed driver use it. That meant we were on our own. My parents hired a lawyer who cost $5,000 just for the first month. He told them to countersue Kyle's family since he was the one driving. They tried. The judge threw it out in 10 minutes. He said my parents were responsible for securing their vehicle and keys. 3 months later, we moved out of our house. We'd lived there since I was 3 years old. My room had glow-in-the-dark stars on the ceiling that Dad put up when I was 6. We moved into a 2-bedroom apartment across town. I slept on a pull-out couch in the living room. Mom cried while packing boxes. Dad didn't say a word for 3 days straight. Vanessa couldn't come home. She needed round-the-clock care, feeding tubes, bathroom help, everything. The nursing home cost $14,000 a month. Medicaid covered some of it after 6 months, but not all. My parents were paying the difference, plus the lawyer fees, plus trying to settle with Kyle's family before trial. I visited Vanessa once at the nursing home. She was in a bed with railings. A nurse was adjusting her pillow. Vanessa saw me and started crying. She said she was sorry. She said it over and over. I just stood there. I didn't say anything back. I walked out after 2 minutes. My mom's parents tried to help with money. They're both in a retirement community in Florida. They sent $3,000. Dad's mom sent $1,000. That was all they had. I heard Grandma on the phone telling Mom she wished she could do more. She was crying too. 6 months after the accident, my parents' lawyer told them Kyle's family would settle for $1.2 million. He said if it went to trial, they'd probably get the full $2 million. My parents didn't have $1.2 million. They didn't have $100,000. They agreed to a payment plan. $6,000 a month for the next 20 years. My dad would be 71 when it was paid off. I started working at a grocery store when I turned 15. I gave my parents every paycheck. It was only $200 every 2 weeks, but it helped with groceries. Mom stopped buying anything that wasn't on sale. We ate pasta 4 nights a week. Dad picked up weekend shifts at his job. I didn't see him much anymore. Last month I heard Mom on the phone with the bankruptcy lawyer. She was asking if filing would make the lawsuit debt go away. He said no. She asked what the point was then. He didn't have a good answer. After she hung up, she sat at the kitchen table and put her head in her hands. Her shoulders were shaking. I pretended I didn't see.